There's nothing more frustrating than when you get a girl's phone number, whether it's from a dating app or from an in-person interaction, and you guys start texting. You start getting excited. You start thinking about a future with this girl, or going on dates with this girl, or being intimate with her even, or maybe you guys even went on a date already, and now you're getting really excited at the thought of being with her again. And then at some point, the texting starts getting dry. The messages start slowing down, or maybe she just kind of stops texting you altogether, or even worse, she sends the message, hey, you're a really great guy, I'm just not feeling the spark, I think it's best if we just be friends. Now, we've all been there in one way or another in a similar situation to this, and honestly, it's one of the most annoying, frustrating parts of going out and dating and meeting women. I'm gonna show you guys the mistakes for both, along with some live examples and text conversations to really make this clear for you guys. So let's start it off at the beginning of an interaction, because the first thing I want to talk about here is guys often tell me, hey Kyle, I ran a really good interaction, or the date was solid. My only problem is the text game. And to that point, I would call bullshit. Because honestly, guys, I've never ran an amazing interaction, or I ran an amazing date and the girl was really feeling me, and then the text game caused me to lose that girl. That very, very rarely happens. In my opinion, what's going on there is that you ran an okay interaction, or you have an okay profile and the girl's kinda intrigued, but she's not by any means sold or heavily attracted to you. And then you go into mediocre, boring text conversation, and then it just kind of fizzles out. So it's definitely easier when she's already heavily attracted to you. And that's why I tell you guys this all the time on my channel. I say, work on your look, work on your vibe, work on your confidence, work on your game. And more importantly, when you're in the interaction, don't just eject after 1 or 2 minutes. Run a solid 10, 15 minute interaction. Walk with the girl, lead her somewhere, stay planted. Just don't pussy out and eject after 1 minute. We're just getting the conversation off the ground here. I'll throw up on the screen a text message that happened, I think, a week ago. This is with the girl I went up to and approached literally right outside my building here. Ran a solid 10-minute interaction on the spot right there, and then I led her to go on an Insta date where we actually got some food at a nearby store, and then we went for a walk down by the water leading back to her Airbnb. And then I got this text message from her later on that night. And I promise you guys, the texting is a lot easier when you're in a scenario like this. I understand that's not always the case. I understand some of you guys meet girls from online dating. We're gonna get to that in the second part of this video, don't worry. But the very first thing, guys, is that when you run a shit interaction or like a subpar meh conversation up front with the girl, and it went 5 minutes and the girl wasn't blown away, she's not even that attracted, it was just a pleasant conversation. I don't care how good your texting is, when days or weeks go by and she's no longer even thinking about you and her life goes on and you just send her these kind of boring messages, she's not gonna clear out hours of her Friday evening to go hang out with some dude who she had an okay interaction with that she's not that attracted to. This is another girl I met actually same night. When that Insta date was over, I went home, took a sales call, I went back out to walk around and I met this other girl and we hung out for about an hour and a half. I saw her the next night, ran a really good date the next night, and then the texting after that became very easy. She actually was reaching out to me, initiating conversation because of how well I ran these interactions. And honestly, these are with women where previously I would have been pretty intimidated with girls like this. I would have been really in my head, I would have been thinking about the future and hanging out with them and making this whole thing a big deal, maybe even over pursuing on text. But because of how I've worked on myself over the years and got better with my communication, my vibe, my confidence, the way I present myself, all of these elements are now in place for me to run a really good interaction that makes the texting easy. Now that's the first thing. Now let's move on to the second part of this, because you can run a pretty good interaction, but if your text game is trash or you're sending some risky or weird messages, you're gonna also lose the girl as well. So the main mistakes I see with guys when they actually do get numbers or they go on dates, I think one of the biggest things is over texting. They have a bunch of boring, bland, predictable texting that is literally just small talk back and forth, multiple days in a row. There's no spice, there's no flirtatiousness, and also it doesn't move the interaction forward. And this actually reminds me of one of the first girls I ever started talking to when I got into my self-development and pickup journey. I met this girl out one night and we hung out for a couple hours. The vibe was really good. We had a lot in common. We ended up texting afterwards, and she was texting a lot. She was a very big texter, and me, being really excited, I started texting her back. We had all of this small talk. I thought it was kind of clever and fun and witty, but it wasn't super flirtatious. And also I was over texting this girl. I was thinking about her all day, texting her all day and night. And maybe you guys have been there before, but literally by day 3, day 4, the text started to slow down. I started to get more in my head, and we didn't even end up hanging out the next week. I literally talked my way out of hanging out with her the next week. And it's not because I sent any risky texts, it's actually the opposite. I sent too many texts too frequently that were all just small, boring, bland conversation, and after days on end of doing that shit, it completely dried out. And that's when the girl actually lost attraction towards me. And I want to show you guys an example of this. I actually have a full-blown text combo I want to show you of what this looks like when you're texting bad, or when the attraction's gonna go down, and how you could spice it up a little bit. And if you're somebody who wants to get better with their texting, if as you're watching this video you feel like your texting is pretty bad, you could download my mobile app Quip. The link is in the description. There's a 3-day free trial. You can literally try out the app completely free, and there's also an option to interact with live coaches on the app. So you can upload screenshots of your combos or girls that you match with, interact with a coach live on the spot, and we'll craft out the perfect messages for you. It is a 3-day free trial, so you could download the app for free. If you're anything less than blown away, just cancel the app before the 3 days is up, and you could try it out risk-free. All right, links in the description for that. But now let's get into some examples of text conversations and where I see dudes going wrong. So here we have a very standard text conversation, which reminds me of myself when I used to text women. The girl said, "Doesn't count when discussing sleep." He said, "Haha, fair enough. Probably going to be an early night for me. I'm B." She says, "Yeah, 30-minute nap just made me more tired. I'll probably be asleep in less than 10 minutes. He said, "Yeah, I definitely fell asleep there." She said, "Yeah, same, but I got 10 hours of sleep, so it's great." And that's the type of texting that I see a lot of nice guys or normal dudes doing, and they think that it's going well because the girl's texting back, not realizing that if you keep going at this rate, you're going to lose the girl if you don't spice it up a little bit. So he says, "That's a lot of beauty sleep, Vicky. You don't need that much." And the girl texts back, she says, "Oh no, I definitely need it. I have not been getting enough sleep the past few days." He then proceeds to keep talking about lack of sleep. He's not adding in any spice. And just to give you guys an example, we actually took this combo up to this point and sent it into the mobile app Quip just to see what the coaches would respond with. And you could see here, they actually came back and said, "I'd apologize, but it's completely your own choice to be fantasizing about me all night." So you can see how we just took a normal bland convo and then we made it in a joking way about you and the girl. And that kind of spices it up, adds a little bit of flirtatiousness, and it also implies in a joking way, in a teasing, slightly sexual way, that the girl is fantasizing about us, which automatically makes it more flirty, makes it more sexual, but it's not overstepping, it's a nice message. And then if we fast forward the convo, he then says, "Doing some stuff around the house and seeing some friends Saturday night. How long are your friends staying for?" She says, "They're only here for Sunday, Monday, and they're leaving Tuesday morning." He then says, "Nice, sounds like this weekend will be busy. Let's shoot for another day." She says, "Just let me know the time and date." She's literally saying, "Let me know the time and date." And he comes back and says, "Same to you if you think of something." She says, "Roger that." So notice how this dude is not moving the interaction forward at all. It's just this, "Let me know when you're free." "Okay, sounds good. How's your day going?" "Oh, cool. How much sleep did you get?" There's no spice, there's no flirtatiousness, and also he's not moving it forward at all. In that last message, all he needed to simply do is insert 2 different options of like a day and time. Like, "Hey, maybe we could do something Wednesday or Thursday. I'm free in the evenings if that works for you." Instead of just being very, very polite and not moving it forward. So on the front end, you really want to optimize the presentation of yourself. For online dating, that's going to be your photos, the way you look, your bio, your prompts, your opener, all of those things. If it's in person, it's going to be optimizing your look, your vibe, your confidence, your charisma, the way that you communicate. And if you run a really good initial interaction or date and the girl's already heavily attracted to you, it really makes the texting a lot easier. And for my guys that are already doing these things properly, if you're getting solid matches or if you're running good interactions, when it comes to the texting, avoid making these mistakes. Don't over text. Don't go too boring. Spice it up a little bit periodically, inject some type of flirtatiousness, and most importantly, move the interaction forward towards the next meetup. If the girl's attracted to you and she's actually serious about seeing you again, she will respond positively to your attempts at scheduling the next meetup. And if you guys want help with your texting, if you want to actually work with live coaches who can analyze your text combos, look at your profiles, help you craft out the next message to send the girl, download my brand new mobile app Quip. We just completely revamped it. All right, the link's in the description. There's a 3-day free trial going on. You got nothing to lose. Try out the app for 3 days. If you're anything less than blown away, simply cancel and there will be no charge. Try out the app for 3 days. Click the button below. That's all for this video, guys. Peace out.